Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play for RimWorld. It's been a while since we've done a YouTube exclusive run as opposed to a live stream one. I gotta say, live streaming RimWorld is insanely fun. The live reactions to stuff is a great hoot, and I love the Twitch integration mod that I often run, which brings viewers into the stream. It's good, but the YouTube only ones does tend to have a different focus and a different vibe, and it's high time we come back there. Yes, it is high time indeed. More on that in a bit. We are running all the current DLC / expansions. We've got Ideology, Biotech, and Anomaly running over here. And I do have a few mods, but very few. Basically a vanilla experience. Well, vanilla plus all the expansions experience. We take a look at the mods. Most of these here are just some visual things to help with video making. We got Camera Plus over here, which is great. We've got the color-coded mood bars, colorblind materials, quality colors, which is lovely. Interaction bubbles. Did you know your RimWorld pawns are constantly talking to each other? But unless you click through some of their tabs, you don't see what's going on. Interaction bubbles just makes little speech bubbles so that you can see what's happening. We've got mood alerts, which is going to give us some notification. Again, mood alerts is just something that you could see already. You could go and click on all your pawns, constantly check their needs page, to see if there's any mood they've got that is easily fixable. Mood alert just brings it over to the little alert area on the right hand side. You normally get you get a warning when people are idle in RimWorld, which is great, except it also applies to your guests who often can't work. So ignore idle guests makes it so that you don't get a notification where guests are idle because it's stupid and pointless. P-Music is a wonderful mod that adds a bunch of music to the game. Follow Me lets the camera follow people, which I really like when I'm making videos. And skipping ahead here to RimHUD, this is a bit more of a UI change than some of the others, but it makes it so that when I have a pawn selected, there's just a lot more information immediately visible without having me click through to the bio or needs tab. So you get a lot more information without constantly having to rely on me hitting those sub tabs, which is great. In terms of things that slightly change gameplay, custom prisoner interactions just lets us queue up the prisoner interaction so that we can do a reduce resistance followed by a convert, followed by a recruit. Just saves us a little bit of clicking and a little bit of checking, but doesn't actually change gameplay. Allow tool, the big reason I run this is because when I'm harvesting plants or chopping down trees, I really only want to chop down the ones that are fully grown most of the time, which I could do by clicking on each individual tree, see if it's fully grown, and then telling it to be chopped. Allow tool has a box select variant that will only do fully grown plants for harvesting, which is so much nicer. And that's the big reason I run allow tools. Technically, this changes gameplay a tiny little bit, but not a big deal. And then better workbench management. Mostly I run because it makes it a little easier to copy and paste like material restrictions between jobs over here. Yeah, that's that. So those are the mods we're going to be running. Very few real changes. And I do have a game already set up. So we're going to go ahead and load this. And we're going to take a look at these wonderful people, these wonderful, slightly, occasionally distracted people with this high life meme. And we'll get back to talking about our ideology in a minute. But these people, who aren't necessarily always the brightest, got very excited at the idea of settling a desert mountain. They misread the map. They thought they were settling a desert mountain. They thought, well, this is going to be wonderful. Clearly, that's where we're going to go. So they've gone ahead and selected this location over here. Of course, it's a desert mountain on a fairly dry planet. I decided ahead of time I wanted to do exactly this. So I set the heat a little bit higher on the map generation and the moisture a little bit lower, just to guarantee that we would have plenty of desert over on this planet. And there was this cool spot over here on this main road, which sounds like a lot of fun. So we've gone and done that. We're not too far away from a industrial faction we can trade with. These tribals aren't that far away either. And if we decide to go and pick up a royalty title of some kind, we're pretty close to some Imperium spots as well, which seem pretty nice. Strange Paw Woodlands over there. Cool, whatever. Anyway, we've got our people. They're kind of chill. Before we look at our individual people, let's take another look at our ideology over here. So we are the Candy Lovers over here. Everyone in the Candy Lovers always just refers to each other as dudes. Doesn't matter about gender. Everyone's just going to be a dude here. Physical love, free and approved, unlimited spouses, which leads to unbelievable chaos and extraordinarily complicated bedrooms. We might do the one big barracks build in this game just because otherwise I'm not sure how we're going to deal with the I don't know, the Venn diagram, the directional graph, I don't know how to refer, what kind of relationships might develop over here. We might start with individual bedrooms and then start knocking down walls between them as the relationships get more and more complicated over here, which should be a lot of fun. Other than that, pretty standard over here. This is a fluid ideology, so we might make some changes as we go. But otherwise, we've got the baseline experience. So we're not, no organ harvesting, no cannibalism or anything like that. Start off with regular research. So that's going to be cool. Our leaders are going to be, our roles rather, I should say, are going to be the leader dude, the Zen dude, and the grow dude. With the high life specialty, we do have the farming specialist over here, which hopefully isn't going to be too difficult. I strongly suspect we're going to be setting up some hydroponics for our little grow up, but we'll see how it goes. Our rituals, we do have, so I've never played as the high life at all. So I've never played with any of the special high life related buildings over here. It's going to be interesting to work around some of the YouTube content filters for this one. But yeah, we've got our candy party over here, and then we've got a few different Sky Lantern festivals. These will probably, once we do our first ideology reformation, and once we've got our temple, a lot of these will probably be changed to something like dance party or something like that, which have more potential. But the nice thing about these Sky Lantern festivals is you don't need a temple for them. You can just do them outside. And we've got a couple of relics. We've got a glow stick for our raves, and we've got ourselves a little stash box relic here. I haven't set anything for animals or anything like that, or apparel. We've enabled a few tattoos, but so that's going to be our ideology over here, which is going to be, I think, great fun. Let's let the people land, and then we'll take a look at them. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, and boop. Excellent. So who do we got? We've got currently Wanda Bradford. In fact, I think I'm going to rename you rather than go by the last name. I think we will just call you Wanda. There we are. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of first naming over here. So Wanda is a hussar. We've got ourselves, by the way, no baseliners in this starting setup. I tend to do all baseliners way too often. Here, I'm forcing myself to use various xenotypes. We've got hussar over here. Actually, only set at, they haven't quite popped into full adulthood here, but that's going to happen relatively soon. We've got an optimist, trigger happy. Amazing combo over here with the shooting. They are going to be an ideal warrior. I mean, the hussars by themselves are pretty good at it. I mean, reduced pain means they can keep going for a long time. Unstoppable as well. I mean, they've got built-in great shooting, but yeah, we've got the Go Juice dependency, which is certainly going to be an issue. I don't know if that's kicked in yet. No, because they're not full adulthood, but because they did start with Hussar, they do start with some Go Juice, so we are definitely going to have to worry about manufacturing that as quickly as possible. But of course, we're going to be going down that particular medical branch, shall we say, relatively quickly on this particular run, because that's going to be our vibe. Certainly, that's how we're going to try to turn as much profit as possible. In terms of skills here, yeah, so passion and shooting, passion and melee, good at both. Double passion on cooking, which is really lovely. Burning passion over here. So Wanda will probably be our chef while nothing else is going on, and can also fill their time with research, especially early on, because we don't need to do that cooking. So the research should be great. Not a high medical skill currently, but with burning passion, definitely going to be set up to be doing some doctoring. An excellent pickup over here. Next up, we've got Rivera over here. Shin, we could go with the name Shin, but honestly, to me, Shin will always be reserved for a certain rat. Shin is a Neanderthal, coma child forester. 57, a little bit older, not currently any health issues, but it would not surprise me if on Rivera's first birthday, a bunch of health issues develop, which would be kind of unfortunate. As a Neanderthal, I believe they're generally, yeah, they've got strong melee damage and the reduced pain as well. Rivera, and they're not good at shooting. You can see it read it out because they've got an innate, -4. But we've got some passion for melee, not as high of a melee skill as Wanda's got, but not a bad start. And Nimble is also really good in melee, increases your dodge chance, which is just a great little combo. And really high skill in plants for this point of the game. So obviously that's going to be really important. The Neanderthals have a -4 to social, so Really, Rivera here rolled an 11 social, but they're sitting at a 7, which does dramatically impact the rate at which they can learn. But a 7 social is not a bad backup for things. Still, you've got the plant, which is going to be important. You can also fill in cooking. And in fact, it wouldn't surprise me if we turn off cooking on Wanda, just so that Wanda can focus on intellectual, while Rivera does some sort of combo over there. But we will see how that shakes out. But yeah, another strong meleeer here with the nimble trait, which is great. And then we've got Onasan? One-san? I mean, I'm probably Onasan over here, who's a dirt mole. Too smart, has got pros and cons. The learning speed is amazing, but it does have the greater mental break threshold. So it's going to be important to try to maintain Onasan's mood, which might be happier once we start rolling out certain products for our little base over here. They are incapable of carrying an artistic, but that's not really a problem. They've got passion for both shooting and melee. However, the dirt moles have, they're nearsighted. So they get a dramatic drop in weapon accuracy, especially at longer ranges. Onasan probably could do pretty well with something like a shotgun, which is going to be short range anyway with this, but they're fairly well set up to be a meleeer. So really, all three of our people are really good at melee, but in practice, Wanda, which is a Hussar, right? Come on, Quill. Learn to click. Yeah. While they are good at melee and have traits that kind of function with melee fairly well. Actually, you don't have high melee damage or anything like that. So this Wanda is good at melee just by default, but they're also really good at shooting. So certainly, and has trigger happy. So we're definitely going to be giving Wanda a gun, and then the other two can actually melee pretty well. What's likely going to happen to start off with is Wanda. Let me do that immediately. Wanda's going to go and get the bolt action rifle. Onasan is going to get the revolver, or I guess the auto pistol. Wait, we started with 3 guns? As far as I know, this is the default. One of our people must have spawned with a gun. I'm betting Trigger Happy starts with like the auto pistol or something. Oh. I was gonna say, normally you start with 2 guns and a knife. And so, wait, who's who? Yeah, and then, yeah, definitely Rivera is gonna go and get the knife and get sorted that way. I'll actually go ahead and hit home to unforbid everything, and that's gonna be okay. So there's gonna be our setup for our people. Now, this is amazing. We've got a big batch of soil. This is not rich soil. This is just soil in general. But the fact that we've got such a large patch of it here on the desert map, and I mean, there's more on the edges, but that's not very safe. But this middle part is going to be fantabulous while we wait to set up just other, probably hydroponics. We've got a little patch of stony soil over here. 70% fertility is not bad. Like, it's not ideal, but it's not the worst thing. We could put a little patch of potatoes or something else that doesn't care about fertility that much over here. But overall, it's not a big deal. What we need to do is we need to get some food in the ground ASAP. So let's go and make ourselves a decently sized spot to grow some rice. We have a year-round growing period over here, which is good. The minimum, I would say, and this is assuming pretty good farming skill, decent fertility, and good planting skill, is about 15 food tiles per person, plus or minus various things. So this would be 15 here. I think we need to go and grow it a little bit more immediately. I'd be more comfortable around 20, which is here. And in fact, I might want to do a little bit more with the idea that we can probably start stockpiling this stuff with the hope that we get someone else. So I think what I'll do is I'll do this much rice, and we'll do a little bit over there. So this is going to be enough to have 20 for 4 people, which hopefully we'll get to relatively soon. And let's try to not forget to switch this over to rice. Again, the advantage of potato, which is the default, is that it doesn't care too much about fertility, so it's a pretty safe default on crappy land. Rice versus corn. Corn is much more work efficient, but takes a really long time to grow and is much more vulnerable to a disaster suddenly ruining a crop. Plus, you go from having 0 food to having way too much stocking up things. Rice is a little bit labor intensive because it's a very short growing cycle, but it is very safe early on. So we're going to get that. We will also, can we grow psychoid immediately? I'm not sure if we can. We can. We do need the skill of 6, but that's okay. Now, I'm trying to remember psychoid. Psychoid's fertility sensitivity is only 40%. It really doesn't care about it. I'm actually wondering if it might be better to put it here. Like to use up some of this spot for this. What about Smokeleaf? The Smokeleaf does have the sensitivity. It feels like we should probably stack multiple things. Well, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to turn this off for now. Let's just have the rice for a moment and just do that. Now, being on a desert map, of course, we're going to have a hard time getting wood, but we should have some that we can chop down. Let's go ahead and set up a harvest fully grown, and I'm just going to select the entire map. Anything that is fully grown, 9 fully grown plants. And of course, we've got the anima tree, which if we wanted to do anima tree stuff, it's in a pretty awkward position, very off center. And especially if we're planning to build our base here, this is very far away. We are not playing with a tribal setup, so we are unlikely to start with any natural meditation stuff. So it's unlikely we can use the anima tree anyway. So I don't think we will end up doing that. Wow, we got survival meals really scattered all over the place on this map. Camels are great. I don't know how good. Wow, on us on here with an 11, we can probably tame those camels and set up ranching. Oh, but how are we going to feed them? There's nothing really to graze. I guess we'd have to immediately go and plant some dandelion for them to eat, and we would have to grow some hay. But that would be pretty good. Ranching's a great source of food. It does suck that they can't just graze. But we do have year-round growing. I mean, we have to worry about our initial home setup first. Nice that we got a steam geyser inside our little secured area, or what will be our secured area. One thing that's going to be a little annoying on this map, we can't really just build a single choke point right now. Because let's say we're like, okay, let's build a choke point here, and we're going to assume we're going to fight in this area. And we just block these things off. Well, there's nothing that stops people from spawning here or here, in which case, like, they would just smash through our walls. Once we get, let's say we dig out this tunnel over here, then we could build a choke point here, and then anyone who spawns over this side would path all the way around to do that, which would be good. Or it might be better to build a choke point here and do that. I don't know. I mean, it's a little early to worry about that. So we won't. Oh, I am playing on Randy Random, by the way, which seems like the appropriate choice for this particular map. These ship chunks, we may as well go and do an early deconstruction on them. That's going to be okay. And yeah, we definitely will be digging into the hillside, especially since we do have a dirt mole, but not yet. Let's set up some jobs. So as per usual, we'll set firefight and patient to the max. Doctoring to the max over here as well. I'll disable bed rest currently. The Hull Plus. Oh yeah, Hull Plus is another thing from the allow tools mod. Just lets you flag stuff to be Hull now and saves you from right-clicking on someone and then, you know, right-clicking on something and then saying, here, Hull this immediately. Basic is just flicking switches, so we want that quite high. And childcare, we want that fairly high as well. Wardening. So that's interesting. Our best social person doesn't do caring, so they won't do childcare. I'll probably turn on wardening for both of these, although in a sense, having it focused on one person is pretty good, but we'll see. Handling being high is good. For now, we'll turn on cooking for both the people with passion, but we might go and turn that quite low. If I do flag anything to be hunted, I guess I want that immediately, which actually would be Wanda, because Wanda's going to have the gun. So we'll set that up there. And then we have no one with a construction passion, which is unfortunate, but Onasan does spawn with a construction skill of 6, which is going to be good enough for now. So at least there's that. And then, yeah, for crafting, well, I think I'll do the thing where for actual crafting, we're going to turn on for anyone because skill doesn't actually matter for that. We do have the default behavior for the anomaly stuff. I don't currently have any plans to interact with the monolith. I don't know what kind of victory condition we might go for, if any, but we'll see. I guess we'll leave these as a 3, which is going to be okay. So basically, Wanda is going to cook and then research, although right now there's nothing to research, so you're going to go and just haul. Lighting is good. Yeah, we really don't have much in the way of wood. We do spawn with some steel that we can use for initial base. But the other thing I could do is really... Oh, well, we do spawn with some wood. I'm being dumb. We do spawn with some, but there's not a lot of wood on the map, and we might want to save that material for something. I'm wondering about slapping down a really early stonecutter's bench and just immediately making things out of stone, or immediately digging into things. This must be a danger zone here. So I do think we're going to dig into this area first. Early bugs might be annoying, but it's hardly going to destroy us. It wouldn't take much to build some shelter over here. Maybe we'll just go and plan on slapping down some shelter right here. I do think I like the idea of immediately, and we do start with stone cutting, right? Yep. Of immediately doing this. See, normally I'd be building everything out of wood. I think here we will build it out of steel. It says not enough stored, but we do actually have enough. We'll put it down there, and I know you're going to think that's outdoors. It's going to be okay. Oh, auto build on. Auto home zoning, turn that off. You know what? Leave the auto home zoning on for now. And then I'll trim things down and probably set an auto mode later on. So you're going to do that. We will set a, just because some people don't have anything to do, we'll set a stockpile zone in here. I'll set a dumping stockpile zone, say just over here for a little bit, just to get that started. Get that done. And yeah, so Rivera's going to come and plant our rice and then go and chop down some trees. See these cactus, you know, you can chop them earlier for wood, but you won't get quite as much. And if we wait for them to grow fully, we'll get more wood, which seems pretty important. All right, Stonecutter's table is up, and away. There we are. What kind of stone do we have here? I guess one thing I can do is just check the world map and then click here and then go to terrain. Slate, limestone, and marble. Slate over here, limestone over there. Marble's quite good for making pretty stuff. Slate is fairly soft. I don't know if you build faster. Sandstone, you can build faster. I think the other stones are mostly similar. Maybe a slight difference. The big thing is just sandstone is faster. I'm just trying to decide what material to make things out of. And I don't know if it's like shown. If we check slate, work to make. Okay, so the work to make is all the same, but the construction can be a little different. And I don't know if there's a quick way to tell that in game versus the wiki. If we just go here. So if we look, there we go. If we look at limestone, it takes 16 work to make. If we look at sandstone, which we don't have, 14 work, not much difference. Slate, 16, marble, 15. Marble's a little faster. It's not as hard, but it is good for beauty. And then granite might be, no, it's, yeah, so most things are 16, a little 15, sandstone a little bit faster. It's basically the same. So let's go with limestone for now. We'll say do until X, where they can stack up to 70. I think you get four blocks per, so I'm just going to set 70 here. So if we go down to 69, it'll do a thing, it'll go up to 73. We won't overkill the thing. Yeah, that's okay. And then just drop it in place. That's going to be all right. Okay. So that's going to start block making with this craft job for everyone. Ancient Danger gets flagged immediately. Okay, that's fine-ish. Oh! You've got corpses that you're hauling. Right, because I unforbid everything. And with Anomaly, you get these corpses over here. Let me reforbid you. So Wanda should change their mind. But we are going to want to set a burial for those corpses, because at some point they'll get unforbidden again. So let's go miscellaneous graves. Set that up. Okay. You're deconstructing that because there's nothing set to construct right now. Cutting stone blocks. Good. And yeah, actually, I guess I said limestone. So what I can do as well as a filler, yeah, is I guess you'd haul to there. Let me put a higher priority dumping stockpile. Clear all, just slightly higher priority for any stone chunks. Really, kind of any chunks whatsoever. Now we'll just say stone chunks. That get flagged for carrying will be brought there. So I'm just going to flag these limestone chunks. So they get brought a little bit closer, but Wanda's going to start doing that, and that's going to be what we do. This is kind of insane overkill to get started. Maybe I should just slap down some early things with walls and stuff, but and then the beds. Oh, we do actually want wooden beds because stone beds are incredibly uncomfortable and reduce the amount of sleep that people get. So we're going to assign a job for 3 beds over here, which can be made out of initial wood. Okay, Anasan's going to do these graves. Okay, so we got ourselves a little pet monkey. God, we are going to keep this monkey around, aren't we? Oh, it's bonded to Rivera. Right, we're not human supremacists, so we've got a bond. We can train you for attack. We can't train you for hauling, which is unfortunate. But yeah, we'll go ahead and train you as an attack monkey. Why not? Scott the monkey. I kind of feel like I should rename you. 19 years old. I wonder what the lifespan on a monkey is. Growth. Right, but what about age? Life expectancy 30. Oh, wow. All right. You go, Scott. All right, we can boost her speed up. There we go. The graves have been built. A little bit of hauling happening, although Ono-san should be making some beds. Yeah. I'm not running anything, this, like, queued haul thing. Is that... It must be built into the game. I'm not running the common sense mod or anything like that. All right, well, we got ourselves some beds. We've got ourselves some blocks starting. And so, with my walls, we're going to do limestone walls. We're gonna do some like diagonals that kind of will look bad to people. But deal with it. This we will have to keep a support in here. Let's not mine that out, and this should enable all of this to work. Put a door in there. Now the doors you want to make out of metal or wood for speed. I don't know that I've got enough wood. I might go ahead and just make them out of steel. Just because we can also get some more ready over here. Going to be a very different game. Normally I prioritize making things out of wood. Now it's going to be very different. How come you're hauling? Oh, because we've got all the blocks we need. You know what? Let's change this to 145, up to 2 stacks of limestone blocks. Yeah. Yeah, fallen monolith, I know, but we're going to ignore it. You're meditating here next to the corpse. Honestly, okay, hold on. We can unforbid this. Let me prioritize burying the corpse, because otherwise we're going to get some bad thoughts. No, weirdly didn't get one over there. Sunlight sensitivity. Oh, it's a dirt molar. Right. We haven't messed with the schedules. We should do that now. I wonder, should we... No, most people will get complained about the dark. Yeah. So Onasan needs the... very similar to a night owl schedule, like this. I still like the idea of having people have a shared recreation schedule. I might go ahead and do this here. Then they spend some time together. Oh, and I can actually lower for the others. I can lower their kind of enforced work behavior or sleep behavior. Just go to sleep here. Then they'll keep sleeping for as long as they need to. But yeah, that's going to be all right. Okay. Done, done, done. Yeah, the light sensitivity is a problem. I wonder, maybe I should rename these people in a way that makes it a little bit easier for me to remember who they are. You know, Grunt, Gurk, Blarg, the Neanderthal, something like that. Rivera still up, hauling a little bit of wood over here, which is good. We want to bring that in. So they are getting the slept outdoor modifier, but that's okay. And yeah, we're gonna try to remember what vibe we've got going on with our people over here, with our candy-loving, funny people. Not the rice. We got survival meals, which of course have to be hauled in. Some clothes and things too, which is going to come as well. Need warm clothes. I'm just going to reach 5C. At least one of them lack the clothing. Are you, as a dirt roller, you're not more sensitive to temperature, right? No. So they're going to be fine. Once we just get some dusters or something, they're going to be more than comfortable. All right, those meals are there. I might want to set up high priority hauler. Just literally just go and rank up people's hauling priority a little bit here. But it's going to happen pretty soon. Already some hauling is clearly happening. Wanda might be doing that right now unless they're carving down some more blocks. So yeah, no, I think we're going to be okay. And you are carving more blocks as they're being used, which is going to be okay. So yeah, right now we're just worried about survival, and then we're going to figure out what is our base going to look like. Are we going to go with a bunch of individual buildings? Are we going to go with one mega building with hallways? I do think we're going to do a lot of underground stuff. I mean, we know that Onasan, yes, is the dirt mole. I'll figure this out. I'll get this straightened out at some point. Onasan doesn't like the bright light. Isn't actually a night owl. They just don't want to be out in the lights. They're going to want to spend more time indoors. So I'm thinking we don't do separate buildings because Onasan traveling from one to the other would be a bit bothered by that. So we'll probably have something where it's kind of one big building with tunnels, and I think with hallways, which I think lends itself well to an underground base. So I think that's exactly what's going to happen. We'll get some good consistent temperature in there. Not that it's really a problem on this map. There's good safety other than the insects, of course. We got some visitors immediately with some trade. I don't know what we're going to sell you. And our best socializer, right, is Onason with the double. All right, let's send you out there to do a little bit of a trade. Okay, it's dark in here. So we're not going to sell the Go Juice because we might need it. Yeah, I don't think we're actually doing anything. Our silver hasn't been brought to our stockpile, so we don't actually have access to the silver currently. But it's not like it's a real trade anyway. Now, because I'm not running Tweaks Galore, I don't have the ability to deconstruct the trash that's around here, which annoys me. We will have to go and recruit someone to melee and then punch them, which is frustrating. Although maybe it'll give them a little bit of skill, which wouldn't be so bad. Anyway, we are half an hour into this first episode. We're going to put a cut in here. We're going to want to get some light, some power, some proper rooms. Yeah, you know, I think we are going to do a communal bedroom. Now, what I might do, the thing is, the strongest thing you can do in RimWorld is a giant room with a little pillar in the middle and have it be everything. Yes, it's going to count as a barracks, but it's going to count as an exceptional, like, beautiful barracks because of all the value that's going to be in the room. So it offsets a lot of the penalties. It really helps to control your wealth and generally works just so well. Versus a lot of individual bedrooms, which feels realistic and everything, and certainly gives a good mood boost, but you need to spend a lot more time building it, and it adds a lot of wealth to the colony, and for a long time, the bedrooms will still be crappy, so you won't even get that much of a mood boost. But it feels right. However, I think on this colony, I think I really like the idea of a communal bedroom, not the one giant box space where everything is one big room. I think it will be a dedicated bed chamber, but it will be communal. So one giant quote unquote barracks with a bunch of beds, and it'll look comfy, but separate from our industrial areas. I think that's exactly the right vibe for this colony. I'm going to think about it in between episodes. Thanks for watching. Hey, if for some reason you're new to the channel, of course, make sure to subscribe. You can even hit that bell if you're feeling spicy. And in general, dropping a like and a comment really makes a big difference with the YouTube algorithm, so that would be appreciated. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.